If you are new to caring for your naturally curly hair, or if you're someone that has always struggled with refreshing your curls, this video is going to be very helpful. I'm going to break it down in a simplified way and really get back to the basics on how to refresh next day curls. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey you guys, it's Gina and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am doing a curly hair video series all about how to care for your naturally curly hair for beginners. So whether if you are just starting out with taking care of your natural curls, if you are transitioning, or if you just always kind of struggled with how to properly take care of your curls, this video series is going to help you out. We have already done videos on how to transition your curls, and I've done a video on the Curly Girl method simplified for beginners. I also recently posted a $6 hair routine and a really easy curly updo. So I will link that playlist for you down below as well as those videos. By now you've probably heard about when you have naturally curly hair, it's best to not wash your hair every day. And that's really with any hair type. It's best to prolong your style as long as possible. It's a lot better for your hair, a lot healthier. You're not stripping your hair of its natural oils and moisture every single day with shampooing. So I first want to start off by talking about how to actually preserve your curls at night, because this is the basic key step to refreshing your curls the next day, is making sure that they are in the best shape that they can be when you go to refresh them. And that starts with how you sleep on your hair. My number one recommendation is to sleep on a satin pillowcase. I will put the website down below where I got this from, and it is so nice and luxurious. They sell these on Amazon, they have them on their website, all different colors. But basically sleeping on this material is gonna prevent breakage, tangles, reduce frizz, keep your hair from matting up on your neck, everything, no matter what hair type you have. I highly recommend sleeping on a satin pillowcase or a silk pillowcase. Two more things that are great for sleeping in your curls. The next is a satin scrunchie, and this is an actual scrunchie, not one of those rubber band hair ties. You can sleep with your hair up in a pineapple, which is basically a really high pony right on top of your head, or I personally wear a bun a lot of times. And this is gonna prevent your hair from creasing, and it doesn't tangle up in your hair, cause breakage. You just wrap it around once so it's really loose, and that keeps the majority of your hair on top of your head, so when you're like rolling around at night in your sleep and stuff, your curls aren't getting smushed and tangled and stuff like that. So this on top of the satin pillowcase makes a big difference. I got these on Amazon, and you can also get this on Amazon too. This is a satin bonnet, which is my preferred method of sleeping with my naturally curly hair, is wearing it in a satin bonnet. And I basically plot my hair, which is where I flip my head over, put the hair up in there to where it's kind of like, you know, shrunken up like an accordion on top of my head. And it basically helps with volume, helps with my curl definition, and it keeps it off of my neck. But I recommend you trying different ways, seeing which way works best with your hair. So that's it for pretty much how I sleep with my curls. I've done a previous video on kind of my nighttime routine for my curls, so I'll link that for you down below, where I show you actually how to put your hair up in a pineapple and all that kind of stuff. So now to the next day, and I'm gonna show you and walk you through how to refresh on next day curls. So this is the day after wash day. And I first wanted to start off by saying that it's extremely important to really listen to your curls, really feel your curls, see what it needs for the next day. You want to avoid applying too much product. If it's really tangly, then you might need to detangle, and which takes a little bit more work. But if your hair looks really great the next day, then sometimes all you need is a little spritz of water, add a little bit more product. Or sometimes you don't even need product, you can just spritz a little bit of water on any frizzy areas, and that will reactivate your hair gel or whatever it is that you used the day before. And sometimes you're good to go. And other times I need to actually detangle. So I'm gonna show you both instances. I also wanted to mention that it does make a difference on what kind of products you use the day before and how long that they last. For my curl type, which I have fine curly hair, it's like 3B, I pretty much do best with mixing a cream and a gel, or just a hair gel. If I use a hair gel that has pretty good hold to it, it will usually last me into the next day, and I just need to add a little bit of water to refresh it, and you can kind of reactivate that crunch. But I personally need a little bit of crunch for that gel cast to where it will hold up throughout the day. So I will link you to some of my favorite products for using for the next day, to where it looks really good the next day. So another one of my favorites to refresh is this water bottle. This is a continuous spray water bottle. I got this on Amazon. Something about the way this water bottle sprays is a lot better to me than just regular cheap spray bottles. But if you're on a budget and if you're a beginner, just get a regular spray bottle. You can add a little bit of conditioner to the water, shake it up if you want to use it kind of like a leave-in, or I just use regular tap water. So this is what my hair looks like when it's up in the satin bonnet, and I'm going to take it down. So this is the next day. You can see that my curls look pretty much good on camera, like you can't really tell, but up close I can tell that I have a lot of tangles, I have some frizz going on, and I maybe didn't have enough hold the day before, so it looks to me like my hair needs a little bit of moisture. It needs some more gel added to it for some more hold, and I need a detangle. So to do that, I'm just spritzing some water on it. You don't want to apply too much water because then you really are going to have to diffuse and stuff afterwards, but I just spritzed some water and then I applied some of this Cantu Curl Activator spray, and this is sort of like a moisturizing spray that's almost kind of like a detangler, and it also has a little bit of a hold to it. The key with refreshing your curls is you don't want to apply too much product because you already have existing product on your hair, but you want to add enough to where you can make your style last a few more days. You can also use a leave-in if you want to. You can apply a little bit of conditioner to your hands when you're detangling, but I really recommend either sectioning your hair off or kind of just finger detangling to get those knots out. And I always have a ton of shedding when I do this. It's just the hair that I've shedded for the day, so don't freak out about it. It just gets trapped up in your hair throughout the day, so that's kind of what is coming out all over my hands. You can also detangle with your curl cream. So I like to refresh my hair usually with the products that I used the day before, so I'm using those same products on my hair. And for that, I was using the DevaCurl Styling Cream. So I just wet my hands, apply a little bit of that. I don't apply too much, and I also really recommend mixing that product or any product that you're using with water, so you're really kind of toning it down. It's not too much, so it avoids applying too much, and plus the water is also going to help with frizz and reactivate the existing products. But you can see when I do detangle, I lose a lot of that curl definition. My hair really needs to be diffused to where I can get my curls to shrink up and I can get nice ringlets. So it's unfortunate that when I do need to detangle, I lose a lot of that definition and that curl shape, so I end up having to diffuse afterwards to shrink it back up. But luckily, some days when I don't have to detangle, I don't lose all of those ringlets all over, which is nice. So when it comes to curl definition, I also wanted to give you a little tip. You can sometimes use a Denman brush. This I got on Amazon. It's basically a plastic bristle brush. I actually removed some of the rows, but it has really far spaced bristles, so this is great for curly hair. You kind of use it almost like you would a curling wand, the way that you kind of turn your wrist when you brush through the curls. So I like to take this and just kind of pick up random curls that look like they're limp and not as curly, and I will brush through. Make sure your hair is wet when you're doing this with a little bit of product too. And I brush through those curls and then give it a little scrunch, and that just reactivates that ringlet, really helps give you definition and really good ringlets. I don't like doing it all over my head though, because I don't get as much good volume when I have just tons of ringlets all over my head because they're all clumped together. But this helps to clump some curls to where you can get some more definition and you don't have to use as much heat when you're getting good definition with just using the brush, and then you can kind of just scrunch. So just a little tip, but you don't want to go brushing your whole head with this. You just kind of use it almost like you would a curling iron or something. So now I'm gonna apply a little bit more gel, and this is pretty much essential. You could skip that curl cream, but I found that my hair needed a little bit of moisture, which you get from creams, so that's why I did add some, but I'm gonna go in with the Diva Ultra Defining Gel, which is their strongest hold gel that they have. I apply a little bit to my hands, and this I definitely water down because I don't wanna apply too much. I don't want it to get too crunchy, and I just kind of smooth over the curls. If you don't wanna disturb your curl pattern, you can pick up individual curls and kind of just cup it in your hand and smooth over that curl to just tone down the frizz, smooth everything back down, and add some more hold. So now I'm gonna take my hair repair towel, which is my favorite cotton towel. It's from Hair Repair. It doesn't cause any frizz or breakage. It's amazing. You gotta try it out if you have naturally curly hair. I just use this to scrunch out any excess water. You can totally just use this if you don't wanna use any heat, you don't wanna diffuse and you're in a hurry. I just scrunch my hair with this. That helps absorb any excess water. It helps shrink your curls up with that scrunching, and it also absorbs any excess product that you might have in your hair. But after doing this, I'm just gonna go in with my diffuser, but first I'm gonna spray a little bit of heat protectant. This one is from Aveda because I am gonna use heat since I'm in a hurry today and I need to get my hair dry, but I would highly recommend trying to dry it with just cold air. So when I diffuse on next day hair, I usually don't always flip my hair over because that can just cause some more frizz, but sometimes I'll just try to dry it right side up, and I just put that diffuser on my ends and then I push my hair up to help give me some volume. You can also take the teeth of your diffuser, put them right at your roots and give yourself a lift because it's hard sometimes to get volume. Once you've added more product, my hair tends to get kind of weighed down and smoothed down a lot at the top, so it's hard to get volume up there. So I just do different things like placing the diffuser at the roots, or sometimes I will flip my head over And then you want to make sure you also finish with the cold setting if you are going to be using heat. You want to make sure to flip to the cold setting though before you move on to another section. That way you're setting that style in place. So now that I'm done diffusing, you can see that my hair is a lot more defined, and after applying some of that gel, I really have a good cast going on. Sometimes I'll just look at my hair, see if I have any frizzy areas, or sometimes I might need to add a little bit more cream to any ends that look dry. Just applying a little bit of water and curl cream to your ends and scrunching in the ends can make such a difference, especially when the cast starts to kind of disappear and you're just left with like frizzy ends. This really makes a difference in kind of adding moisture so they're moisturized throughout the day. So then I'm gonna finish off with a little hairspray. This is from Bounce Curl. This is alcohol free. It's my all-time favorite for frizz, and I always tend to have frizz on next day hair, so this works wonders. So that's what I particularly had to do on second day hair, but usually that's what I would have to do on third day hair, but I guess I didn't have enough hold the first time. So now for my third day hair today, I'm actually gonna show you what I do when I don't need to do any detangling, which is ideally what you wanna go for because you don't wanna disturb your curl pattern. And usually this is the routine I have to do on second day hair. So these are actually usually flipped, but we're going with it. So this time I'm taking my hair down out of my bonnet, and I actually wore the satin bonnet while I was working out. I get a lot of questions how to work out with your curls, and I personally like leaving mine up in the satin bonnet. I work out at home, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't look silly to me, but if you go to a gym, you could wrap your hair up in a scarf, but I would definitely recommend wearing it in a pineapple. And I think keeping it in that bonnet just helps to where, you know, when I'm moving around, it's not like bouncing my curls around, creating frizz or tangles. It's just keeping it confined to the top of my head. So I'm taking it down. You can see they actually look still pretty good from the day before, and that's because I had added more of that gel the day before, so I still had a really good definition and hold going on. So I'm just gonna flip my hair over, give it a shake at the roots. This is ideally, like I said, what I would have to do on second day hair. And then I just kind of look at where I might have some frizz going on, and I'm just going to take my spray bottle and gently spritz different areas that look a little bit frizzy and give it a little scrunch with wet hands. You want to make sure that you're not touching your hair with sticky or dry hands because it's going to create frizz. But in my case, I did need to add a little bit more product because I started noticing areas that were frizzy, but luckily we didn't have any tangles going on. Usually it's really tangly around the nape of my neck, like from my jacket and stuff. But today we got lucky and it wasn't too bad. So since I still had really good curl definition going on, I didn't need to use the Denman brush or anything, and I didn't want to disturb that curl pattern. So I just picked up individual curls, like I said, and I just kind of smoothed over that with the curl cream on my hand. So I have a little bit of curl cream, very tiny bit. I didn't use a lot of gel today because, like I said, I didn't want to add too much product. And I just kind of smoothed that cream over any areas that looked frizzy. Sometimes you need to add a little bit more water with cream. You don't want it to look like white on your hair if your hair is still pretty dry. So I just gradually kind of spritzed different areas, and it actually ended up getting a little bit too wet. You can see that, you know, my hair looks pretty damp, so I'm definitely gonna have to diffuse, but ideally I wouldn't do too much water to where you don't have to re-diffuse and you can just, you know, let it go and let it air dry. But since I kind of went a little bit carried away, I guess, I do need to diffuse a little bit just to help shrink my curls back up, or else my hair will literally dry stringy like this. That's just how my curls are. So I did diffuse. I first sprayed a little bit of my heat protectant, and then I diffused my hair, and it only took a few minutes because it was pretty much dry. I just wanted to shrink up my ends a little bit. So I just used a really low, mild heat, and then I finished off with the cool airflow to help set everything in place. And that's pretty much it. Super easy for this day because I had enough product in my hair before. I didn't need to apply much more. Then I'm just going to shake it out some more and just try to shake out my roots, and then I'm going to apply a little bit of hairspray just in areas that are frizzy for me, which is usually like this section of my hair. And these were my results from day 3 hair. This is probably the best. This is probably better looking to me than the day before because I have just the right amount of product now in my hair. It's not too heavy or anything. And if you have any little bit of gel cast, that's okay. Usually it will break up throughout the day and then you'll have like a strong hold all day. But I personally like to leave a little bit like this in my hair to where I feel like it has good hold. And this will hold up for probably one more day. So I usually go maybe 3 days in between washes, and if I'm lucky, I can get to day 4. A lot of you are also wondering how I shower with my hair without disturbing my curls, and I use a adjustable hair cap. This one is actually from Amazon. I'll put this in my Amazon store, but this has satin on the inside, so it prevents your hair from creating frizz. It's really large, so it's great so you can have your hair up on top of your head and not smush it too tightly, and it's adjustable, which I really like. So I will link this for you guys. It's a lifesaver, keeps your curls from getting wet and doesn't ruin them at the same time. time. So I hope this wasn't too long. I know it was very detailed, but I really wanted to explain really just how to listen to your hair, give it what it needs. With curly hair products, it's really trial and error, and I wish I could say there's one magic product that is perfect for refreshing curls, but I haven't found that yet. I will also list out all of these products and tools that I mentioned that are my favorites on the blog post that goes with this video. That will be the first link in the description box down below. So that is it for this video. I would love to hear your recommendations for more videos for this curly hair care for beginners series. If there's anything you're struggling with, please leave it in the comments down below and I will be sure to get back to every single one of you. And I hope that you have a great new year. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post videos on Sundays and occasional Thursday here and there. So I would love to see you back next week. Thank you all so much for watching. Bye everyone.